What's going on YouTube? It's your girl Sha and welcome back to the Shaa'Vaee Show. So today I am back with a review of The Oval Season 1 Episode 3 titled Heat. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. This is going to be a brief review on all you should know about Episode 3 of The Oval, okay? So it looks like Bobby is now in Secret Service custody and he is not talking. So they are interrogating him by applying lots of pain and pressure to his wound from getting popped by Lily, but it seems like he's not cracking. On the other hand, Lily seems like she might be the one that's going to crack and start talking and telling everybody what happened, because she keeps making herself look so suspect, like something more happened than what she claims, as far as Bobby just walking into the house and she found him there. Okay, so now Don, he takes her concern for Bobby as her just being compassionate, and he tells her, you know, you're just so compassionate, you're just going to be an excellent mother one day. And Lily's like, well, in order to be a mother, you have to have sex. I said, oh, okay. Put Don right in his place, burst his bubble, so now we know that Don and Lily ain't getting it popping, okay? Now, to make matters worse, Kyle is downstairs, and y'all know who Kyle is. Kyle is the Secret Service agent who is sweating Don like crazy, okay? So now Lily doesn't know, like, what we see, how Kyle and Don interact, or how Kyle interacts with Don, Lily doesn't see. So she goes downstairs to speak to Kyle to ask him questions about what's happening with Bobby, because Don's not giving her any answers. And as we know, it seems like Kyle wants to be in Lily's place. So Kyle is taking Lily's concern in a different way. He's like, why are you asking so many questions about a guy who you claim just came into your house, that you found him in your house? Why are you so concerned about it? Is there something that I need to know? Is there something that we need to know? Like, when we ask him questions, like, is there something that we should be looking for? And she's like, no, why would you say that? And then Kyle's like, well, because you just sniffing around. You keep asking about him. What's really going on, sis? So now Lily goes upstairs, and I guess she tells Don. So Don comes downstairs, and him and Kyle have a debate, because Don's like, listen, you ain't even supposed to be here, Kyle. I did not request you to be here. I requested another Secret Service agent, and you know that. And Kyle just not listening. He's like, well, you're my high priority, so I'm going to make sure you're safe. I said, oh my God. So y'all, I'm waiting to see if Don and Kyle had a thing going on, or if Kyle is just crazy and he is just madly in love with Don and trying to get Don to be down with the, and Don just don't want to be down with it. So we're going to see what happens, okay? We're going to see what happens there. But also, speaking of Bobby, we learned that Bobby is a ranger, or he was in the military of some sort. I don't know what kind of ranking he was, but this is kind of making Secret Service's job harder, because they know that he's trained to, like, not disclose information. So him being interrogated in the way that he is might not help any party at this point, okay? Probably be in Bobby's benefit. He'll probably die with the information that he has instead of disclosing what he's done, okay? So now President Hunter, he sneaks his side piece into the White House, and they wind up getting it on in the Oval Office. And while this is happening, Hunter thinks that Veronica is in her room sleeping, but she is not. So she gets out of bed and she goes to the kitchen, where she finds her daughter Gale, who is sniffing around looking for a phone so she can get in touch with her boyfriend. And Gale ends up telling Veronica that she might want to go up to the Oval Office because she thinks that someone is there that Gale or that Veronica might want to see or might be interested in seeing. So Veronica goes up to the Oval Office and tries to get in, but there's a Secret Service agent sitting outside the door, and he was told by Hunter to not let Veronica in. So he's just doing his job. Veronica is trying to get in by any means necessary. So she is yelling and screaming. She is throwing things at the door, but nobody hears her. And the Secret Service agent is like, listen, ma'am, I made you to stop because the Oval Office is soundproof, and then I'm just not going to let you in. You're not getting in. We really gonna have to thump for you to get in, and I don't, and at this point, it looks like you're not gonna get in. So one thing leads to another, and they end up wrestling just a little bit. He's trying to restrain her, and he ends up hurting her wrist. So she ends up leaving and just gives up and okay, you know what, plan B. So she comes up with a different plan, okay? So now inside the Oval Office where Denise and Hunter are, it's a lot of kinky stuff going on in there. Almost like a dominant and submissive relationship. And it looks like Hunter might be the submissive person in the relationship, whatever kind of relationship they have, because it seems like Denise and Hunter's relationship is very casual. And it seems like she's not going anywhere anytime soon, and he's going to always be, getting her services and sneaking her back and forth into the White House. Not to mention, according to Veronica, Hunter has been doing this for a very long time, and he has had Secret Service agents at his house before they even moved to the White House covering for him. And this is another part of Veronica's frustration, because she's just like, how can you be so low down, so just disrespectful, so trifling, so just nasty that you will bring another woman into this house while I am sleeping? You have no respect, no respect for me at all. And so I don't blame Veronica for going and trying to get into the Oval Office, although she knew that she probably wasn't going to get in. And I know she didn't know that it was soundproof, but I understand her frustration, because regardless of what situation that we go through, there should be no reason why another woman is in my house and is sleeping with you at the same time. Y'all doing stuff and I'm here. That really shows you have no respect for me. And now my thing is if Hunter just does not respect Veronica at all, seriously, what was the point of them being married? Was she really the brains behind him being elected as president? Because other than that, I don't see their relationship as what is it for? It can't be for the kids, because it seems like neither one of them really are close to their kids like that. Well, I can't really say that because I haven't really seen Hunter interact with Gale and Jason like that, but Veronica definitely don't rock with the kids like that. So I don't know if she's not their mother. I don't know what the situation is, but it just seems like I don't understand what the point of their union was besides getting into the White House. And now that you're into the White House, specifically Veronica, what now? What is it for you now? Because he seems like he's just going to keep disrespecting you. So I don't know what's about to take place. And Hunter just proves to be this real, just nasty person. He even offers his Secret Service agent to sleep with Veronica. So he's trying to get his Secret Service agent to sleep with her so that she could be out of his hair and not worry about what he's doing with Denise. And the Secret Service agent has seen both sides. So obviously he's doing what Hunter has asked him to do, which is guard the door. But he's also came in contact with Veronica and knows how she feels about the situation. So it's just Hunter, you just really you dirty. You are a dirt ball for real. So Hunter thinks that he's getting ready to go back in his room and he's gonna have a good night's rest. But Veronica puts sets a booby trap in the shower and puts glass in there. So when Hunter gets in the shower after his little night out with his side piece, he steps on that glass, comes out of the room, and instead of him going to sleep, he's gonna have to need a medic. So Veronica wins the game. So now Gale is in the house, and she, like I said, she's trying to get in contact with her boyfriend. So come to find out, she is dating Barry's cousin, which is Richard's nephew. And according to Richard's nephew, I think his name is Pinkie, Richard does not seem fond of him. And I guess Richard probably don't seem fond of him because he is gang affiliated and he might be selling some narcotics on the corner. I don't know. That's none of my business. But Barry probably Richard probably just does not want that type of lifestyle for Barry. So he's probably just never liked Pinkie because of the type of lifestyle he chose. Okay. So now Gale is dating Now we find out Gale is dating Pinkie, which is not good because we know that Gale accused or falsely accused Barry of touching her when he didn't. So now when this whole thing blows over and Pinkie finds out that Barry was accused of trying to touch Gale, I don't know how this is gonna play out. I'm pretty sure Pinkie, because he's a street dude, he's probably gonna put family over Gale, but then because Richard doesn't like Pinkie, I don't know how this is gonna line up. So we're gonna see how that plays out. But anyway, so she's sniffing around, she's trying to call him, so she gets in contact with him, and he basically kind of don't want nothing to do with her right now, just because he knows that the first lady and president don't like him, and any kind of movement that he makes, if he moves funny, or if he even breathes funny around them, he knows that he is liable to go to jail because of his lifestyle. So he's trying to like just get Gale to like fall back for a little bit, but she seems like she don't want to fall back. So now I feel like I understand why Gale is walking around this house with an attitude, because she ain't getting none, and her boyfriend is kind of dodging her because of her parents. So she's giving everyone attitude, and Priscilla, the head chef, she walks into the kitchen where Gale is, and Gale is just really rude to her, like saying all types of things like, I can have you fired, and I want you to make me breakfast, and you need to go back on welfare, like just a whole bunch of stuff. And Priscilla is just like, girl, bye, because ain't nothing wrong with welfare, don't knock it till you try it, that's number one. And then she's like, oh, I promise one day I am going to poison Gale. And I really believe that. And if it's not going to be Priscilla that does it, one of the White House staff is going to, because Gale is not a person that you want to wait on. Like I wouldn't want to be her server, her maid. I wouldn't want to work for her. And that's on life, mama. That's on life. Anyway, let's just keep moving along. So, speaking of the White House family, Jason is out here still being a creep, and he's asking Gina, the maid, if he could go to her side of the house and see how they living. So Gina tells us that the White House staff, it's not like you get, in order to, be a staff member of the White House, it's not like you can find a job description on Indeed or Monster or Craigslist or even LinkedIn for the matter. It seems like it's generational. So I think her aunt worked there, which gave her like a leeway to work at the White House as well, or kind of gave her more opportunity for her to work at the White House over someone else. Okay, so Gina, I'm telling you right now, do not let Jason come to your side of town. You did the right thing by telling him that you're gonna go ask your higher ups before you allow him to come see where you live, because girl, I feel like his intentions are not right. Although it seems like he wants to be adventurous and see how the poor people are living, I'm skeptical, and I don't want nothing to happen to you, because he gives off creep vibes ever since he was groping that girl at the inauguration party. So be careful, Gina. So now on the flip side, Barry is still trying to get Callie, because Callie is still missing, and the Rakadushi cult still has her. Okay, she's still in Ruth's custody, which she should not be. So he goes to see Pinkie, which is Gale's boyfriend that we just learned, and he winds up getting a weapon from him. So now Pinkie ends up giving Barry a false address of where the Rakadushi cult is, because he already knows that the Rakadushi cult is not to be played with. He says that they are some killers and that Barry is not about that life. So he's like, okay, Barry, you have the weapon on you, but I'm telling you right now, if you get caught with that piece, it's on you, because that has a lot of heat on it, aka a lot of bodies most likely. So if Barry gets caught, he could go to jail for a very long time. Okay, so at the same time, now it's 6:30 in the morning, and Shaa'Vaee and Nancy are still up, and Shaa'Vaee is crying, and she's upset because she's kind of pissed at what Barry said. And remember how he said earlier, the first person he blamed when Callie went missing was Shaa'Vaee, and it wasn't even Shay's fault. So Shaa'Vaee is upset because she's like, she feels like he's always like trying to come for her when it comes to Callie, and thinks that she's trying to come in between them, or not trying to come in between them, but always judging him because he had a baby with somebody, and Ruth is just not, she ain't in her right state of mind, or just feels like she's not fit for Callie, and then Shaa'Vaee just feels like Callie doesn't like her, and that's only because obviously Callie wants to see her parents together, just like any other child who is dealing with parents who are divorced or parents who are not together. Whatever the case is, for the most part, a child just wants to see their parents together, and has nothing to do with their stepmom, their stepdad, or whoever else is stepping in to help take care of Callie. She just would prefer, obviously, her parents to be together. So Nancy tells Shaa'Vaee, listen, Ruth wasn't always like that. I know you're looking at Barry trying to figure out how he got with Ruth, but Ruth was not always like that. And in fact, she had a very troubling childhood. Her father was just a mean old man and probably did some things to her, so Ruth never wanted to be home. And that's how, and because Barry and Ruth were friends since they were kids, that's how they grew up and had Callie. But now Ruth is a completely different person. Shay is just like, I understand where you're coming from, Nancy, but I just feel like I don't know what else to do. I have to walk on eggshells when it comes to Barry, because anything I say, I don't want to upset him, and I don't want him to go off on me. And at this point, I'm just tired. I don't know what else there is for me to do. I feel like it's just important for parents to get to know the significant other, and for the significant other to get to know the parent. So I appreciate them, just talking and having this conversation, because I do think that it'll make their relationship stronger, and possibly Nancy can talk to Barry and convince him, or give him a woman's perspective on how Shaa'Vaee feels about this whole situation. So now, like I said, it's 6:30 in the morning, and Richard finally catches up with Barry, and he goes into the car. Barry's in his car, and he's crying. He's at the address where that Pinkie gave him, and he's just like, I want my daughter back, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to, get her back. And Richard tells Barry the story of how, when Barry was born, and how he felt about him, and how at first he wanted Nancy to have a girl, but then he fell in love with Barry once Barry was born, and that he knows what it feels like to want to kill someone because of your child, for the love that you have for your child and their safety, and you'll do anything to anyone who causes harm to them. But at the same time, he's like, Barry, you can't do this, so I'm going to need you to hand over the weapon. And Barry's like, no, I'm going to take care of the Rakadushiko. So now Richard does the stupidest thing anyone can do with someone who has a weapon in their hand, and he tries to take the weapon from him. Now, if Barry shows that he's not trying to let go of the weapon, obviously it's not a good idea for y'all to be tussling, because somebody's going to accidentally get popped, okay? And the episode ends with them just tussling over the weapon, but we don't know, we won't know until next episode if the weapon actually goes off, or if it's kind of like a false alarm. Maybe it goes off but doesn't hit anyone. I just pray it doesn't hit anyone. So that's where we are with this episode, y'all. And as y'all know, I'll be back again to talk more about the Oval, because it's getting pretty good. Getting real good. So if you haven't already done so, y'all, be sure to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on this video and on some of my other videos. Comment below and let me know, what do you think is going to happen next episode? Is Barry or Richard going to get popped? Do you think this Barry and Gale situation is going to resurface? How do you think Pinkie is going to react when he finds out the accusations that Gale is claiming against or making against Barry? Do you think we're ever going to get Callie back? How do you think that's going to end? What do you think Veronica's next move is when it comes to the president? What's going to happen? I don't know. We're going to see. So, thank you for rocking with your girl, and I will be back to talk more about the Oval. See y'all next time. Bye.